Check this out. Azalea Banks is trash. It's all happening.
Static selector.
It's NBA All-Star Weekend and Los Angeles is lit. Wild series of events taking place in the city. Been running around all week. I'll be reveling in the festivities this weekend. As such, great time to bring back our user opinion series. This is where we highlight some of the most insightful, some of the funniest comments that you guys leave each and every week. And we've got some great ones. The strength of this channel comes from the perspective that you drop in the community section after each episode. I'm taller because of you. Up first, Lauryn Hill ain't the GOAT. Shout out to Ty Lord. Azalea Banks is trash. That's where that opening comment came from in the first place. Not sure what you meant by that, Ty Lord. Azalea wasn't even mentioned in the Lauryn Hill piece, but whatever. Thank you, we appreciate you. I suggest you take a listen to Broke with Expensive Taste. Azalea's actually really talented. She just seems like a terrible person. Unholy Priest. Lauryn Hill would still shit on these female rappers today easy. Nicki Minaj don't even come close to Lauryn Hill. I tend to agree with you. Also, shout out to Lucretia Berry and Mike Richardson. We got into a great back and forth on the Ambrosia for Heads Facebook page around this Lauryn Hill piece. Lucretia expressed that she felt the piece was a bit sexist because this whole argument leaves a bad taste in her mouth because women are mostly excluded from all GOAT conversation. Salute to Lucretia, great back and forth, links in the description, check the thread, awesome read, but sincerely, holistically, had Lauryn Hill not spent the past 15 years not putting out new projects, had she not erroneously claimed to have written and produced all of Miseducation by herself, she went to court for that, she lost that case, and had she not spent the past decade and a half delivering craptastic live shows, I don't think it's a question that Lauryn Hill is the GOAT or a very strong GOAT contender, male or female. I don't think that in 96 to 98, I think Lauryn Hill's probably the greatest rapper alive, definitely, arguably. Who knows what would happen or what her career would have looked like had those three things not taken place. I guess we'll never know, but thank you, Lucretia, and thank you, Mike. Great conversation. Up next, why isn't Tech-9 the greatest of all time? Now, this is a throwback piece to my DX breakdown days. One of my personal favorites, actually. It explores why Tech-9 isn't consistently brought up in GOAT conversations. My assertion is that the face paint, the red hair, the arguably demonic imagery turned off the Black community, which is a crucial audience when it comes to cultural recognition. Check it out, links in the description. Last week, I spoke with Tech-9 about his upcoming project, Planet. Now, during that conversation, Tech actually responded to the video. Here's Tech.
You did the thing about why isn't Tech-9 the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? It's because it's hard to connect with a dude that don't look like nobody. That's my theory. Painted face might scare a lot of people. Red spikes wasn't popping in the hood back then. Red spikes now would be like, wow, that nigga's dope. That's the king blood right there. No, not back then. Not back then, like that nigga's a devil worshiper. You know what I'm saying? So I've done it all, but I haven't done it all though. I have to go and tread every part of this sphere. Sorry, B.O.B., I love you, but this sphere before, I'm like, okay, I'm cool, you know what I'm saying? So the next 4 years, man, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go hard, man, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go hard. And Travis says, man, who knows? In 4 years, you might be like, shit, I ain't ready to quit. Well, I got hip hop in my blood and my bones. Maybe he's right, but I set a goal, and it's 4 years from now, brother. Well, 4 years from when Planet drops, March 2nd, and that's right around the corner. So the time clock is gonna start on March 2nd.
It's interesting to think about how far ahead Tech-9 has been. I mean, the Strange Music business model was embraced by TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, Dreamville. Feels like the whole rap industry is trying to be independent and tour as much as possible. Tech-9 showed them the way. And every time I see a gaggle of rappers with face tats and colorful hair reminds me of Tech-9 with his face paint and his dyed red hair. It seems like as time goes by, everybody's Tech-9. Something to think about. That's a heck of a GOAT quality. Make sure you check out Planet. I've heard 6 tracks. It's the best I believe Tech has sounded since Clusterfuck, maybe all 6s and 7s. Here's a clip from Don't Nobody Want None.
The beat I broke, never needed my chin hair to be thy goat. With the mic on my fight, folks to peep my quotes and try to say they wiggity nice joke.
Throwback, love that. Doing it for the DJs. The full Tech-9 conversation will be available on Ambrosia for Heads. Make sure you check out Strange Planet on March 2nd. If you don't take a listen, punch yourself in the face. Next, black rappers are going extinct. I love this piece personally. It takes a look at the potential effects of net neutrality and once it's fully repealed in the United States, arguing that marginalized populations, i.e. poor people, won't have the opportunity to reach the broadest audience, full access of the internet. This is also one of the most polarizing pieces I've put up since I started this channel. 500,000 views between YouTube and Facebook. So many feathers ruffled, so much insight nonetheless. Into the comment. Ali says, what a video connecting net neutrality with entrepreneurial minorities taking advantage of the internet to make a living. Minorities, especially black youth, are told you can only ball or rap to make it out the hood. Now that the internet has provided so many creative minds a different avenue to flourish, American legislature is cracking down on that too, endangering these opportunities. A very scary thought. Appreciate this well thought out video, Justin. Very eye-opening and concerning. Thank you for checking it out, Ali. As always, salute to you, my brother. Dika Red says, that makes sense. Look at all the rappers that have come from the internet. YouTube and social media has made it very easy for white rap fans to make songs and broadcast it without looking for a record deal. This piece brought up a very robust race discussion. A lot of you guys took umbrage with the fact that I used the term reverse racism in the piece. One, the term reverse racism was used by Rolling Stone. I just used their verbiage to color the commentary. And two, a lot of you said there's no such thing as reverse racism. It's just racism. Okay, fair enough if that's your perspective. Here's the thing. One, ask yourself this. Have you ever not been able to buy something or acquire something even though you had enough money? And two, have you ever moved into a neighborhood or enough people moved into a neighborhood that looked like you and suddenly the value of that neighborhood decreased? If not, we're not talking about the same thing. Shout out to Mozzy, straight out of Sacramento. One Up Top Ock is still in rotation. So is Seasons off the Black Panther soundtrack. He's poised to have a breakout 2018. I spoke with Mozzy about the idea of black rappers going extinct. He vehemently disagreed. Here's Mozzy.
Okay, well, this is what I think about that. I think the niggas in the trenches don't want to listen to no Post Malone, Lil Peep. No disrespect. Machine Gun Kelly. Niggas that's involved in the things I'm involved in, they don't want to listen to that shit. They're not going to listen to that shit. They're going to make music for themselves. And I think it's going to continue to be prosperous just because the cyber, the internet. The internet made me rich, straight up. The internet is the access. Before I even popped, I had 15 to 20 projects out. So as long as like the youth, the young black people, the young black men, as long as they educate themselves on their business, I think, you know, we'll continue to rule this shit. Right now, we got this shit by the balls. G.O.D., we been having this shit.
Word up. Mozzy is the illest. He's one of the most important artists of this new wave. I stand by that. Make sure you keep an eye out for Gangland Landlord and Spiritual Conversions. Both are on the way in 2018. Here's a clip from Sleepwalking off last year's One Up Top Ock.
Bust it down and deviate it. Everybody seeing paper. I just wanna see you make it. Incubators 80, baby. One Up Top Ocky, something stocky in the choppy. Fat Wally for Brodowski off of Oxy. Betty Moppy. Pour for a wacky vision, cloudy sleepwalking. Pour for a wacky vision, cloudy sleep.
Dope. Thank you guys for rocking with this episode this week. Again, it is another example of our user comments pieces where we just talk to you guys and highlight the awesome things that you guys are sharing in the comments section each week. The more perspective you guys deliver, the better I become. It means so much to me. That's why I spend so much time talking to you guys and responding to you guys, or even just liking the comments if I don't get a chance to actually type a fresh thought into it. It means a lot. Thank you sincerely. We're gonna close this episode with a clip from a podcast visit that I just did for Sewell Media. Great episode, links in the description, so you'll hear that after we do the closeout here. Next week, look out for All Out Show with Rude Jude. We're gonna have Daz from the Dog Pound in studio. We're gonna have CeeLo stopping by on Thursday in studio. We have a Tech9 interview dropping on Ambrosia for Heads. Look for that. We're gonna have Planet Asia in studio the week after. We working around here. Also, make sure you keep up with my Instagram live stream. We've been live streaming more, just putting words into action. Shout out to everybody in Eastern Europe. You guys always show me so much love. Everybody in Africa too. I see you. Like and subscribe to the channel. Follow @TheCompanyMan on everything. It's all happening.
Status selector.
It's funny when
this is what I mean.
I interviewed GLC a while back, and he essentially asserted that the Kanye we grew up to love is all but gone. And when he looks into his eyes in like recent photos, and he hasn't spoken to the guy in like 3 years, and when he looks into pictures of Kanye and looks into his eyes, like that isn't the same person, and there is something wrong.
I don't know any of us who are infallible, and I don't know any of us who moved in one who move in a direction, and that direction remains consistent. Here's one thing that I know that I think is extremely millennial of him. I think he's representing a generation more than anyone else, and especially when I think about millennials, for example, he's not even a millennial. But
no, he's pushing 40, isn't he?
But that resolute self-confidence and your ability to will yourself to success or to whatever your goals are, he actually did that. Like he was able to get everything that he's ever wanted. And I know along that journey, the things that you want after that have to be way bigger. So you have to go harder. You have to go crazier to get closer to your next checkpoints. What do you do if you want to be the biggest rapper and you get it? What do you do if you want to be the biggest person in fashion and you are that? What do you do when you want to be the biggest celebrity on the planet and you achieve that? What do you do when you have the most famous chick in the world on your arm, or the second most famous chick on the world on your arm outside of Beyonce,
right,
and you get it? Like, what happens? Well, your aspirations keep going forward, and at that point, you're setting a brand new example that didn't exist. Anything short of that is now living in a space or a place that you've already dominated, you've already conquered, and you've already found yourself comfortable. And if I'm someone who's always pushing the margins, if I'm someone who's sitting here thinking every day that I have to be the best that I can be, the one thing I know I can't be is comfortable. He's just experienced a level of comfort that most of us never get to, and truthfully aren't allowed to. So I understand where GLC is coming from. He told me something very similar. I saw interviews where he was talking about talking to Kanye's mom and what his mom asked GLC, and I imagine the people that were around him at that time to protect him and watch out for him and all those things. I don't think that the incarnation or the public presentation that we see of anyone is necessarily what's at the root or what's in the heart. A lot of people say Trump's racist. I don't know if Trump is racist, just off of the actions and the decisions, because I know Trump's also a business person. And a lot of times it's good business to present yourself as one thing, even if that's not what you really are.
Trump's
so
racism
I think
reminds me a lot of, like, you remember when Chris Rock hosted the Oscars like a year or so back, and he discussed the difference between like Pitchfork and White Hood's racist and sorority racist. Trump is sorority racist. Like, we like you, Rhonda, but you're not a Kappa. Okay. I definitely think Trump is.
whatever Trump is, I know that he's playing off of all of our worst instincts. And to me, there's nothing noble in that. To me, that's obvious.
Absolutely not.
It's like turning on the gram and doing crazy stuff every day. Not that that's a bad thing or that's a disingenuous thing, that's a wrong thing. I think of that as a tool that we all have. Best believe, if I get to the point where I'm like, yo, man, all my money's dried up, I need to do something crazy, I'll be on the gram screaming fire in the stadium in a very unique way. I might go book on y'all. You never know if I have to. I personally don't believe that's the case because I know that thoughts are physical. So I know that I don't have to wow out in order to get attention because of the work that I've put in at this point, the reps that I have, the industries that I've been in, the relationships that have taught me so many things about how to be able to, share thoughts